It is 12 o'clock, and we announced at 12 o'clock we're going to have a very special person to interview. This past Sunday at the Master Theater in Brooklyn, New York, I had the esteemed pleasure of attending the annual Soul to Soul concert this year, Soul to Soul 5779, starring Yishal Apidot, the return of his Aviv Simcha's 8th day, and this next star, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcoming the one and only Eli Marcus. Eli, how are you, my friend?
Woohoo! Baruch Hashem. So nice to be back on your show, Yossi. Thank you.
So wasn't that like a truly amazing show Sunday?
The feedback has been incredible. There was something really beautiful about it. Just the flow and the good the camaraderie on stage, and it was really, really beautiful.
Now let me ask you, Eli, by the way, are you a Yishai fan like me, or you weren't as familiar with his work beforehand?
Oh, sure. Big Aviv Simchas fans. I remember listening to Dor Mitsuyan. Mm-hmm. I still remember it's got that the red and yellow on the cover and that circular.
That's right.
So that's very fresh in my memory.
That's amazing. Is it, by the way, before you get into the interview, isn't it truly amazing how these tracks, these audio tracks that Yishai is using, were composed 20 to 25 years ago, but they held up, with your Chelek Shali, with 8 days, Bring It Home. It was on the level.
Yeah. It's amazing how it's stayed current and it's become classic. It's become part of the classic sound of Jewish music.
Definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, Eli Marcus with us via telephone. We're here to talk about the release of his latest hit album. Album is entitled Yogati, in stores now, produced by Mendy Friedman, distributed by Nigun Music. So, Eli, talk to me. Last time we spoke was probably about 2 years ago when Energy came out. And before that, by David Melech.
Correct.
So this new Marcus brother, who was probably, when 8 Day did their first performance by the Chabad Telethon many years ago, most of you brothers were part of the group, correct?
It was an undefined group. Mm-hmm. It was Marcus Brothers. It wasn't, you're available, you're not busy, come down, we're doing a show.
Right.
If you can make it.
So that was Eli's first taste of Jewish music, and then the group was narrowed down to just Shmuley and Bentzi because everybody, their busy schedules or shlichus, whatever it was they were doing, or moving around town. And obviously, you're Friedman / Marcus, so music is in your blood. And you go and you meet Yossi Green, and the two of you decide to put out David Melech.
Yes, that was Mendy's idea, mm-hmm. Mendy Friedman, to do a full album just like the old days with Dedi and Ohad, and it's a Yossi Green project.
And to do Fisher and Avrami Flam, yes, we know.
Yeah, he's done it with so many people, and I thought that he had kind of closed up that part of his shop. Mm-hmm. And I honestly thought he was going to say, I don't really do that anymore. I'm not looking for big projects like that. But I did not know Yossi. That was this before I met him, and Yossi is always up for a challenge.
Definitely. And
always up for doing more and bigger and better. And he said yes right away. He immediately agreed.
So for you, it must have been a dream come true. Here you are working with somebody whose music you grew up on, and he wants to work with you. He wants to do an entire album of pretty much his material.
Yes. 100%. It was a dream come true. And I'm very grateful that we had that opportunity. And even though we don't have Yossi on this album, but Mitzvah Shem in the future, definitely we'll have Yossi. We'll be working with Yossi.
So David HaMelech was the name of the album. The album did extremely well. You had a song from Eli Schwab, Vuzdarfsta, and I think did you have a Yitzi Waldner song too, or was it just Eli Schwab?
Yeah, Mazel Tov is Yitzi
Waldner. Beautiful songs. And then about a year and a half later, you released a wedding album, a collection album entitled Energy, and it was jam-packed with energy. Many people were debating should Eli Marcus have gone the route of a few albums, himself before doing the wedding album thing. But truthfully, if you think about it, your cousin Benny Friedman kind of did the same thing when he had the album Nagila V'Nismacha.
Correct.
I think it was released between first and second albums, or between second and thirds, but it was pretty early on in his career when he did that.
Right. Yeah, I think it was between 1 and 2. That was my my sign or my direction I was following. Mm-hmm. And the energy, the production on Energy is phenomenal. Yoni Eliav did an incredible job. So many people ask me, when is Energy 2 coming out? When is Energy this version coming out? When are you doing a slow Energy? What are you doing?
But the album sold well, Eli, right?
Yeah, it did okay. Didn't do as well as David HaMelech, but the feedback was really incredible.
Mm-hmm. Baruch Hashem. So that was your album, the Energy album, which of course was the point of Energy, I believe, was to show off your vocals because, I mean, you're a wedding singer, and David HaMelech, while it was great to have original material and unique songs, it didn't showcase what you could do at a simcha. And I believe Energy was what you can do at a simcha.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the idea behind it.
Now, the most unique thing I found out about Yogati is Eli Marcus is changing, he's maturing, he's figuring out what he likes because, half the album's kind of Israeli and the other half is kind of what I would call, Heimish Hasidish, technically, correct?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's, the artist is always developing, always changing, reinventing, and, that's part of the definition of art is that you're always searching and always, finding new paths and exploring new things. And, the Yogati is definitely, that's the definition of the word Yogati.
Right. Look for it, you're going to find it. So you got to keep looking for something different, something new, something unique. So Mendy Friedman, the producer of the album, this is a cousin or a brother? I believe it's a cousin. Cousin.
A cousin.
And he lives in Israel?
He lives in California.
Oh, really?
Palm Desert, to be exact.
So how do you go about choosing songs? Now, you have your cousin, you have your brothers, you have your uncle. Who's involved in this process? I'm very curious. When a Marcus / Friedman's working on an album, who's involved in song selection?
Primarily myself and Mendy. Mm-hmm. This particular project, Avrami Burko was also heavily involved. So I would say the three of us. I did play things for other people, just to kind of gauge, their reactions.
Right.
But not too many. Asking too many opinions is never good.
No.
And so I tried to learn to trust my instinct, and to trust Mendy's instinct. And in this particular case, Avrami, who has tremendous experience and is a tremendous musician and tremendous producer, and. So I would say really the three of us.
Well, I think that's, it definitely shows that it was a good move, especially when you get to track 3, Mechalka Chaim. Not only did Avrami arrange a song, compose it, I think he's also featured soloist, a featured vocalist. Yeah. What made you decide to say, you know what, Avrami, why don't you come join me on the track?
Well, I think that for listeners, getting to hear the composer, is like an added bonus.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it brings out more of the song itself.
Right.
You get to hear it from the source kind of thing. And I think it adds colors. We do have a lot of guests on the album. But I think it adds a lot of camaraderie, Avistral, and it just gives it that those different colors. It's just not just the same. It's anchored by the main artist and that voice, but bringing in nice elements, just splashes of color here and there.
Well, I think it worked very well. His voice is definitely very different than yours, but then when the two of you are doing it together, it melded extremely well. And you're talking about from Mechalka Chaim, I can almost go to the last track on the album, which I believe was added last minute, Latavavid, where you have both of Rumi and the talented Shulam Brat, which, I'm in love with this kid's voice. It's going to go any day. He reached that age, Eli, but you managed to chop him last minute. Now, what is the story behind this song? Because from, when we were talking way back when and you were playing me some tracks, this song wasn't anywhere having to do anything with the album.
Correct. So this song, it's one of our Rumi's compositions.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe he gave out a video on YouTube of him singing it with Shulam. And we were talking one day, and he says, maybe put this Tabovid song on your album. People are asking, what album is it on? It's almost like a song without a home.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of homeless and drifting around.
Right.
The people know it, but it's not anchored on. It has to be anchored on an album for people to be able to find it.
No, 100%.
So everybody asked me if I would, just kind of give it a home, give it some shelter, and that's basically it. I mean, he refurbished the arrangement. Had a lot of the parts recorded live, and then
So what has the response been from the song, though? I mean, what kind of response are you getting from people in Crown Heights and friends in the community?
It's the response has been good. I'm getting so many different favorites on the slow songs that I think that's a sign of a good album.
No, I definitely
when you have different people, it's I can't say it's like especially the slow songs that people are focusing on one specific song and saying, wow, like that a lot of the feedback is coming back on one particular song. Getting feedback on literally all especially my family.
within the Friedman Marcus family itself.
Yeah. Somebody wrote on one of the WhatsApp groups, my favorite slow song on Eli's album is this song. And then somebody wrote back, like, you obviously haven't heard the whole album because my favorite song is this song.
Interesting.
and everybody responded to something else. So Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem. Eli Marcus with us via telephone. We're talking about the release of his latest album. Album is entitled Yogati. Eli, this title track, Yogati, was composed by you. I mean, this is your first foray, as far as I'm concerned, as a composer. So, how did it come about? Was it an easy decision to decide to put one of your own compositions on your album? Tell us a little bit about it.
So it was definitely not an easy decision. I've been trying to compose for years, and with piano, and I've I have my drawer of songs, and nothing really, nothing really clicked, as they say. But I started to play guitar about 2 years ago, and
wait, besides guitar, you play piano too, or you only play guitar?
Yeah, I play piano, play a little drums.
Oh, so we're learning. We're learning a little bit. Okay, things we didn't know about Eli Marcus. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, we had a piano at home when I was a kid, and I picked up most of it by ear. My sisters took lessons and would show me, this is how you make a chord. This is how you, different things work, and just listening and copying what I, finding, the notes and finding the sounds and figuring it out that way. And it would just get lost, when it came to composing on piano. But then with guitar, it just the melodies just started to pop out, simple chord progressions, and just melodies just started to happen. And
so you're telling me the picture of you with the guitar or the ukulele in the album is not just a stage picture. You actually play it.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually it's a mini guitar. So it's not a ukulele, but it's not a full size guitar either. It's called a 3/4 guitar, and it's a lot easier for travel and for storage and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's got this song Yogati. Went through a couple of versions. At an early version, I played it for Baruch Shalom, as just to get some feedback and say, how can I, what can I do? How can I really improve the song? I knew it was lacking.
Right.
And he gave me some. He's like, just think. He's like, I think he said, just think out of left field. Just try to think out of left field, and something will come. An idea will come. And Baruch Hashem, it found its current form, and I played it for a couple of friends, and they're like, "Oh, this is good. This is good. You can put this on your album. you go ahead with this one."
And you were like, "I'm going to take it even further out of left field. I'm going to name the album after it."
So that's it became kind of the anthem, of my career, in a way. The Yogati means, to me it means, get out of your comfort zone. That's the real, and without getting into the whole, Gemara behind it, and it's Yagia and Mitzia and Amuna are three completely unrelated concepts. To work hard for something and then to find, let's say with money, you're in your store all day and no customers come in. So you worked and you set up your shop and you change the window display and then you close the door, you lock up, and then you find $100 on the floor.
Yeah.
And then, so that's the Yagia, and then there's Mitzia. You didn't work hard for the $100 that you found. You just found it.
Right.
And then Ta'amin, what does it mean to believe? If I have the money, I show you. See, look, I worked, I have this money. You don't have to believe me. Look, I show you. I have the money. If somebody is smart, you can see from the way that they speak that they're smart. You don't have to believe them that they're smart. If somebody's strong, you can see they can lift heavy things. You don't have to believe that they're strong.
This is very, very deep, Elliot. I didn't know you're such a deep guy.
Yeah, this is the reason behind the song.
No, good. This is what we're trying to get to. We're trying to get to the meaning behind everything over here.
Sure. I mean, I don't want to get too deep. I don't want to lose the listeners, or I want to talk about music, not.
No, 100%.
I love this.
So Yogati, what's us? You gotta,
and that's Yogati. It's life. Life is you're never done. Working and trying. You can. You never make it. There's always, especially when it comes to Torah mitzvahs, you can't say, I put on tefillin yesterday. I think I did enough. I davened yesterday, or I kept Shabbos last week.
Right.
There's always, it's never, you're never done. You're never done in our mission here in this world. So, Yogati, I mean, it applies in many different ways, and especially here, when it comes to the music and as an artist to get out of your comfort zone. Initially I was very, scared to share, compositions. I'm not really a composer. Right. Is it good? Is it not good? Making yourself vulnerable, and just put in the effort and try as hard as you can.
No,
that's
definitely.
All.
And you were telling us before that everybody has, different favorites. I have two favorites. I have Slow is Bechol Kai Kai, which was composed and arranged by a new guy, talented rising star Shlomi Saltzman. Yes,
my good friend Shlomi, who is an incredible talent. Bechol Kai Kai was the first song that I collected for the album.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. I got an email out of the blue from Shlomi with the song, and took me some time to come around. And to chop the song, but it turned out into. I mean, he produced the music as well.
Right, he arranged the song, yeah.
And it's a very, very special song on the album.
And it's fun. It's funny because it's like slow, but then it like picks up towards the end, so it's not technically a slow ballad, but it definitely shows off. And the arrangement's very simplistic. Also, I mean, it's complicated, but it's not busy.
Correct.
So it enables the listener to hear your voice and to hear the song, I guess, the way it was intended.
Yeah, that's Shlomi's specialty.
So that's my slow song. My fast song is track 7, Chelek Sheli.
Yes.
I mean, Mordechai Brizel's written some great songs over the years, of course, for Yaakov Shweki and many others, but and Simcha Leiner, Ribono being his, but Chelek Sheli, there's something about, I don't know if it was the song or the way Jan arranged it, but something about the song is just, it flows and it has great energy.
Yeah, it was, Chelek Sheli was one of those songs, unfortunately, there's that you're not sure. Should I take it? Should I not take it? I almost dropped it.
Really?
Multiple times. Yes.
Wow.
And Baruch Hashem that we persevered.
I would have been really upset if you dropped that song, Ellie. If I found out later, I would give it to you.
I'm ashamed to admit it. But,
so it's funny. So you have this Israeli song Chelek Sheli, and then you have the Hasidic stuff. Then you have a song like Melech, which is like classic Mona.
Yes. Yeah, it's Moshe Laufer.
Moshe Laufer, sorry. Classic Moshe Laufer, yeah, which is very interesting. And then you go to Zachreinu and you have Pinky Weber. So it's literally a very unique and eclectic mix. But the one composer that I've never heard of before was track 8, Vizakeni. It says Yankee Kryman. So who's Yankee Kryman?
Yankee Kryman is not in the music industry, but he composes, for a hobby. And through Avromi Burko, who made the Shidduch, I was introduced to Yankee. He was putting out some songs for a wedding, for his son's wedding.
Okay.
And
this was the guy who released that album at the wedding that nobody got.
Okay, yeah.
This is the guy. Rumi said he might be releasing like his own album at some point in the future or something.
So yes, he had another child who got married, another son who got married a few months ago, and put together 7 songs. Two that were two of them were previously released, for this previous wedding, and then one song that was released with Shirley Werdiger called Yaakov Torah. And he gave it out at the wedding as a chura, as a gift. And he was kind enough to allow me to put Vizakeni on the album.
I didn't know that, so that's very cute. So that was actually, anybody who attended that wedding was fortunate enough to get a preview of the song on the album. That's very cool. Eli Marcus with us by telephone talking about the release of his latest album, Yogati. It's available for digital download everywhere, correct, Eli?
Yes, sir.
Also available, and you should check out elimarcusmusic.com for all of Eli's albums, information about Eli, booking Eli. As we said, the album was produced by his cousin, and he has media management by Davidi Crombie, who was, of course, the director at Sunday Night's concert, who made sure that Eli Marcus not only got to perform by himself. I heard this from Yishai. I was like, Yishai, wow, it's so nice of you to invite Eli Marcus on to do Adama. He's like, well, Davidi Crombie said, Eli's here, like, why not?
Davidi's doing a tremendous job, and it's really helped me out tremendously.
And I was a big fan of that of Yishai's Adama because it's so different. And then, of course, you guys got to perform the Soul to Soul song with your brothers Shmuley and Bensi, and then you went on to doing Yalili, which, of course, every show has to end with Yalili. So the new album is very well rounded. 11 songs in all, featuring compositions by Yitzi Waldner, Eli Marcus. You have Avrami Burkow. You have Shlomi Saltzman. You have Pinky Weber. And Mordechai Brizel. One song we didn't discuss is the song I want to play you out of. There's something about it. It has such energy. I'm trying to remember if you performed this Sunday night. I'm not sure. Track 10, Sois Tassis.
Sois Tassis. That's Udi Damari arrangement.
I don't know how you did that, but I'm so happy you did. There's something about something about what Udi does to his songs that will blow you away. Words from Sheva Brachas. But it's such a unique arrangement to it, and I can literally hear you smiling when you sing this song.
That was the first song that we actually produced.
Really?
For the album.
Wow.
I recorded the vocals in California. Oh gosh, too long ago. Actually, my brother Bensi helped produce those vocals. He was there in the studio, and. That was one of the early ones, and I liked how he combined combined the two brachas together. Samech Samach and Sois Tassis. A little trivia for the listeners.
Okay, Ali.
That there are 2 brachas on the album that have the same ending, but completely different context and are set at 2 totally different. Times
it's going to drive me nuts.
The year.
Same ending.
Yeah, the 2 brachas and Baruch Atah Hashem, yada yada yada, same.
Okay, so I know one of them has to be Sois Tassis. I'm going to have to figure this out. Okay, Eli, we're going to play you out with Sois Tassis. Before we go, Eli was fortunate enough to give me some copies of his album this past Sunday at the Soul to Soul concert. So, Eli, number from 1 to 25. We're going to give away a copy right now before we let you go.
Okay.
Pick a number.
Pick a number.
From 1 to 25. You
want me to say it out loud?
Yeah. It's not a secret.
It's not a secret. We'll do number 13.
Okay, 13. 13th person to email me right now, yossi.zweig@gmail.com will win free copy of Eli Marcus's brand new album, Yogati, in stores now available for Nigga Music. Eli, Hatzlacha Rabba, looking forward to see many great things from you, my friend.
Yossi, thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Have a wonderful day, Eli.
All right, take care. Zagazan.